So, like I said, a lot of the time I spent listening to the radio and watching some TV. Richard and Judy, what was the name? Home and Away, Neighbors, all them type of things. Music, and then you'd see a little bit of rock documentaries. David Bowie. David Bowie was coming back to play some intimate rock shows, and he was like, yeah, rock and roll and whatever. And I just remember him talking about U2 and saying, nah, he wants to do intimate shows because he wants to get back to rock and roll. This whole thing with the big stadiums is blah, 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 blah. So it's like, for example, U2. And then the guy that he was with him was making fun. Say, yeah, it's like they're looking for something. They can't. Yeah, it's like the song. They still cannot find what they're looking for. And I was just thinking, all right, listen to these guys. But I listened a lot. I listened to a lot of radio at the time. And I used to like, especially on the Sundays, when the reggae shows would really play the old school reggae, and there was nothing like when the Wailers tune would come on. You really felt, long time we know I've no nice time. Do you think about that? This is my heart to rock you steady. I give you love anytime you're ready. This little heart in me just won't let me be. So it was cool. But like I said, Noel came and he had this brother, this friend of his, who used to live down in Donington, I believe. And they came and they decided to cook me. It was beautiful, man. They decided to cook this great Christmas dinner because Noel had come and says, what you going to be doing in the Babylon holidays? I said, well, not really. I'm Rasta, so I'm not going to do anything. He said, no, man, don't worry about that. These are the holidays. You got to come out and do something. And he invited me to his place. And at the same time, he says, now next week I'm going to bring a brother and you can play some tunes for us and we'll cook some food. And they came and we had a good time. And he brought some salmon and it was really a beautiful evening. But on top of that, this brother brought an LP, you know, an LP with a group called the Meditations. I believe that's what they were called. And he says these are the brothers who sang the backup vocals for Rasta Man Live Up on the Bob Marley. I said, oh, okay. And that album, no more friend, I'm no more friend, no. And I taped that album and I listened to that album over and over and it was nice. So I was never left alone. There was some things that were a bit bad, but I mean, I was always taken care of and Jah love always shown for me. So now we talk 1990. 1990 comes and we're into a new year. And I wish I could tell you more about, but my mind is blank. The things that I remember about 1990, the Berlin Wall. Now my mind is hazy. I'd have to check that out, whether that came down in 89 or whether that had come down in 1990. But I know that by February, February 1990, our man had come out. Mandela was free. You have no idea. Me stuck in that house, radio my only friend, getting the news over the radio that Nelson Mandela was going to be free. It was totally, completely unbelievable. And when it happened, exploded. Exploded. When we saw pictures of Mandela, I was thinking, who is that? Because the only picture we knew of Mandela was from his younger days. when that big man came out with his fist like this and Winnie Mandela by his side. An untouchable moment. And you know how that trumpet sound is used to go. Bring back Nelson Mandela, bring him back home to Soweto. I want to see him walking on. I want to see. What did it go? With Winnie Mandela. I can't remember the words. Tomorrow. Yes. Sometimes when the words leave me, it's kind of sad. I want to see him walking hand in hand, or something in the streets of Soweto or whatever. Forgive me, my memory fails me. I want to see him walking hand in hand with Winnie Mandela tomorrow. So we're like the celebration in London. The celebration is where? At the Africa Center. So we went there. We just got on the bus, and when we got there, it was full of people. The whole of Covent Garden was full of people. We made it into the Africa Center, and the place was jamming and ramming. And what I remember mostly from that night was I had never heard it before. Was the One Love by Bob Marley, the extended version, the 12-inch One Love. Man, we jammed to that song. The piano, it killed us, man. It killed us. It just killed us. The Wailers, everything, it was magical. My friend, we partied. Mandela was free. That's what I remember from that. Then either the wall came down the year before, the wall came after. You have to check it out. Berlin Wall. The world was cracking up. Things were changing, you know. In Russia, things were changing. In Ethiopia, things were changing. The war was escalating in Ethiopia, you know. And so, by the time the summer came, I was on a different vibe and I was learning and music was good and everything. And same old, you know. And but the situation in the house was kind of like fucked up. Upstairs where I lived Godfrey, and he was an amazing drummer. And he lived there with his girlfriend, the English woman, and she had 3 children by her English husband, but she was Godfrey's. And then they had their little kid together, and all of them loved me because my vibe was always cool. Everybody in that house loved me because my vibe was cool. Annette, who was Sheikh's girlfriend, she lived next door. She used to come over by our place because Jimmy's vibration is just cool, you know. So I was known as the guy who just was always calm, always philosophical, always got a spiritual word to say. And especially after my voice had gone and it came back, my vibe was even greater. I remember the evening when my voice came back, the evening before it came back, I'd gone to sleep. And for some reason, while I was praying before I slept, in my mind just came this picture of a lake with water lilies, you know, just a peaceful lake with water lilies, and you know, it was just like a Monet painting, and that in itself was just like a sign. It was so strong in me that I felt like everything that had been blocked, because I was really blocked, that it resolved and it was gone. And from the time that that was gone, things changed, and I started playing on the streets, and that's when the magic began. That's when people just started saying, Jimmy, come this, Jimmy, come here, Jim. It was like I was thinking, damn, you know, everybody just wanted to be around me, and everybody everybody just kind of like wanted a piece of me. And I was like, whoa. And I'd sing a song and people were like, why, you special. You've got something special. And so I became friends with my friend Jason, who used to play drums. He was French, half English, half French. He used to study to be a cook, and he always had a lot of weed. His mom lived down near Broccoli. And so he started playing with me, and we were a duo. We were playing on the streets. And we wrote songs, and we had a following and everything. And Jason just wouldn't let go of me. He was always like, Jimmy, sing this song, sing that song. And, you know, I was really, the chords and everything as... This song is now called I'm an African, that means everything to me. You know, I put on those lyrics later on. It was more like, I look at your face, I like what I see. Oh, my people, you're so full of grace, you make me so free. Ooh, your children. You know? And Jason heard this song and was like, you're special. You're special. And so the word was spreading all around there. It says, Jimmy, he's special. You know? So it was real cool. But then I really got into His Majesty. Emperor Haile Selassie. It started meaning a lot to me. And Jason wouldn't let go of me. Jason took me by his mother's place and we smoked herb till late night. Smoked and smoked and smoked and smoked all the time. So we were inseparable, and the girls used to like us like that, Jimmy and Jason, and especially the French girls. It was a good time, really good time. And then I started getting deep into Rastafari, and then one time I had this talk with Jason, and I was talking about His Imperial Majesty, and then I kind of like noticed that he wasn't too like this, you know, the Haile Selassie thing to him was not like. I was like, okay, well, I'm playing with him and he's playing with me, and we listen to Bob Marley and everything, and smoking herb and everything. So I asked him, Jason, what do you think about Haile Selassie? And Jason says that he was a dictator. And I just looked at him and I said, okay. And something inside of me just went like, you know, I kid you not. Something inside of me just said like, enough of this show. You know, enough of this show. And I kind of like said to him, well, Jason, that means that I can't play with you no more. He says, Jimmy, you're not serious. I says, nah. I said, to me, Haile Selassie is God Almighty. So, you know, you call him a dictator, then we can't do this. Yeah. And that's what happened. So me and Jason stopped flexing at the time. And then one evening, as I was going home to catch the night bus by Leicester Square, I went in to get a patty in a shop, and there were two Rasta people in there, one older man and a younger man. And I started talking to them and started talking to me, and it turns out that the younger man was a drummer, a real kick drummer, and he also played the bongos and everything. And that was Reuben Neville Wright. So my game changed. I started moving with a Rasta youth, the son of a Rasta family, who were close friends with the Whalers in Trenchtown, come to live in London. Brother Bunny and Sister Rose, who lived at 58 Swinford Road in Brixton, from Trenchtown. And so my music went to the next level, like that, you know.